Are you moving to Madrid and you're wondering about what options you have to get the Golden Visa in Spain? In today's video, I'm going to explain all you need to know about the Golden Visa in Spain. I will tell you what the Golden Visa is, who can apply to it, what are the requirements, the different investment options you have, and what happens with your family once you get it, among other issues related to it. So stay tuned. What's up everybody, this is Pablo Jurado from the Keller Williams Realty Group in the northwest of Madrid. I've been living here in Madrid for over 30 years and I live and love this city every single day. No doubt, Spain in general and Madrid in particular have experienced an incredible growth in the number of expats willing to invest in a property here in order to get the Golden Visa, and therefore a permanent residence. No matter if it's to work here or to enjoy the Spanish sun after retirement. If this is your case, do watch this video completely. And if you're thinking of moving to the Madrid Metro, don't hesitate. Give us a call, send us an email, or fill out the form in our website, livinginmadridspain.com. You have the information in the description down below. We absolutely love to help people relocate or invest in the Madrid area. And, of course, we can make that transition so much easier for you. Okay, let's dive into it. Due to the simplicity in its application process and the possibility of living and working in Spain without the need to visit the country more than once a year, for many, the Golden Visa is the quickest and safest way to get residence in the Spanish territory. You only have to invest in the country and this visa will be yours. But what is the Golden Visa and who is intended it for? The Golden Visa program is a special type of residence intended for all those citizens from outside the European Union who want to move to the Spanish territory and make a significant investment in the country. Most residence permits for non-Europeans have complicated procedures, lots of paperwork, requirements, a lot of effort to get a visa. You don't believe me? Take a look at this video where I talk about the pros and cons about living in Madrid. You will see that bureaucracy in Spain is a pain in the ass, and this is one of the reasons why in the last years this Golden Visa residence permit has grown so much in popularity. This gets crystal clear if we take a look at the data. Since its implementation in 2013, there have been more than 5,000 applications from people from all over the world. The program has brought a significant amount of investment into the country, with more than 2 billion euros invested in Spanish government bonds and over 1 billion invested in Spanish company shares. So basically, we could say that the Golden Visa is designed for all those citizens from outside the European Union who want to make an investment in Spain with a double purpose. On one hand, to find a safe and prosperous place to deposit their money, but also to get the residence permit, avoiding most of the long and annoying procedures of the other visas. But why is it so different from the other visas? It's really important to mention the specific law that regulates the residence permit for investors. Because in this case, we're not talking about the general law on foreigners, but about the entrepreneur's law released in 2003. And this difference will play an important role in your legal status, especially regarding the application process and future renewals. In the first place, and unlike any visa in the general law on foreigners, you can apply for this permit directly from Spain, although it's not necessary. Secondly, with the Golden Visa, you're granted the right to live and work in Spain for an initial period of 2 years instead of just 1. And yet another significant difference is that under this law, the second renewal of your Golden Visa is done after 5 years, and from that moment you will be able to get the permanent residence. So we have synthesized the main advantages of the Golden Visa in Spain in 10 main points. The Golden Visa program allows investors to obtain residence in Spain, which gives them the right to live and work in any European Union country without having to go through the process of obtaining a separate visa. The Golden Visa program allows investors and their family members to travel freely within the Schengen area, which is composed of 26 European countries and allows for passport-free travel between member states. After living in Spain for 10 years and after fulfilling other legal requirements, Golden Visa holders can apply for Spanish citizenship and have a second passport, which allows them to move and work in any European Union country. Spain has a very favorable tax environment for non-residents, as well as a double taxation treaty with many countries which can reduce their tax liability. Of course, Spain is known for its warm climate, beautiful beaches, rich culture, and high standard of living. Living in Spain can offer a great quality of life for investors and their families. But also, obtaining residency in Spain can open up new business opportunities for investors and can allow them to take advantage of Spain's growing economy. As I mentioned before, this is the only residence permit that grants its holder the opportunity to live in Spain for an initial period of 2 years. In order to obtain this visa, residence in Spanish territory is not required. Standard residence permits require to be inside the Spanish territory for more than 183 days during the year, and the Golden Visa only demands the applicant to travel to the country once a year. While the main applicant applies for his or her residence permit, he or she can also apply for the residence permit of his or her spouse and children, and that is why the investor's visa is a totally recommended option for those families who want to start living in Spain. To apply for the Golden Visa, the applicant does not need to do it physically in Spain. You can simply designate a representative to collect for you the relevant documentation. It is worth mentioning that, apart from these advantages, benefits can vary case by case, and there may be other benefits or disadvantages depending on each person's particular situation. Once you have obtained the Golden Visa, you will have 2 years to reside legally in the Spanish territory. After this period, you may request a renewal that will allow you to be a legal resident for 5 more years. In order to carry out this procedure, you must prove that you continue to have the ownership of the asset that was the object of the investment, whatever this is. In addition, you should have visited Spain at least once during each year, and it's important to remember that the Golden Visa is one of the many ways to obtain Spanish nationality. After only 10 years of residing legally in Spain, the investor may carry out the relevant procedure. Okay, so this is the key question that we're talking about today. To be able to apply for the Golden Visa in Spain, you can opt for one of the following ways. First of all, you can obtain an investor visa through the purchase of real estate for a value of more than 500,000 euros. Now, there are many frequently asked questions about this type of investment, and I want to try to cover most of them here. Let's say that the property has been purchased by several individuals or investors. In that case, you must take into account that the investment will be computed at an individual level. This means that if your personal contribution to the property does not reach 500,000 euros, you will not be able to apply for the visa. In the same way, you're not limited to buying only one property over 500k. You can split your investments in several properties, as long as the sum of them exceed that amount. And it's also very important to mention that the investment on the property cannot be acquired with a mortgage. Some applicants have found issues with this rule. So anything above those initial 500k can be acquired with a loan or a mortgage, but the first 500,000 euros must be a direct payment. So let's say you want to buy a property that costs 900,000 euros, or 2 different properties of 450k. There's no difference. Well, in this case, you must have the first 500,000 euros saved, and the other 400k can be done through a mortgage. Okay, so the second type of investment you can make to get the Golden Visa is by buying shares or participations in a Spanish company or having a bank deposit in a Spanish entity for a value of more than 1 million euros. This will also give you access to the residence permit. This investment must be made in the form of shares of an active Spanish company that is engaged in economic activities, and the company must be in compliance with the Spanish tax laws. The third option is to invest in the Spanish government bonds. This option requires a minimum investment of 2 million euros in Spanish government bonds. These bonds are issued by the Spanish government and are considered a safe and secure investment option. And last but not least, you can also get the Golden Visa with the creation or investment in a Spanish company that meets specific job creation or social requirements. This could be an alternative to the first three options, although the amount required for this investment is not fixed and it depends on the company's type of activity, geographical location, and the amount and quality of jobs to be created. It's worth mentioning that although those are the most common investment options, the Spanish government may consider other types of investments, such as investments in scientific research, cultural heritage, or infrastructure projects, all of them studied in a case-by-case basis. Additionally, the Spanish government has the right to decline an investment if they find the investment not in line with the strategic interests of the country. In order to successfully apply for the Golden Visa, the applicant must meet the following requirements. First, not being a citizen of a member country of the European Union. As I said before, this special residence permit is designed for citizens from countries outside this area, which have it more difficult to obtain a visa in Spain. Second, you have to be of age, which means being over 18 years old in Spain. Third, you must not have a criminal record in the last 5 years, neither in Spain nor in any other country. Fourth, you must have covered healthcare in Spain. This may be through a public health insurance or with a private insurance company. 5. You must avail and prove possession of sufficient economic means for the maintenance of both you as the main investor and your family if requested a residence permit for them too. And you must of course make the actual investment we're talking about in this video and provide the corresponding document that shows it. As I said before, one of the fundamental requirements to obtain a residence visa for the real estate investment is to prove, by means of the corresponding document, that the investment has been made. The question now is, what exact documents justify this investment? Let's see it according to the path we have chosen to follow. If we want to obtain the Golden Visa through the investment of real estate property, we must provide the certification of domains and charges from the property registry and the purchase deeds as proof of the purchase of the property. Regarding the certificate of domains and charges, this is the document that indicates who is the owner of the apartment or the property that has been purchased, in what percentage has such ownership, and the value of the purchase. It will be through this certificate that the competent authority will assess whether the investment reaches the minimum to obtain this visa and whether or not you have requested a mortgage to make the payment. In the case of investing in Spanish shares or participations, you must provide an investment statement from the investment registry of the Ministry of Economy, in the case of participations, and a certificate of the financial intermediary registered with the National Securities Market Commission for the purchase of shares. On the other hand, if you have taken the Spanish public debt investment option, you will need a certificate from the Bank of Spain or from the financial institution with which you have managed the investment. In this document, it should be crystal clear that you are the holder of this debt. Finally, for investments in bank deposits, you will need the certificate issued by the financial institution with which you have contracted the deal, in which it is stated that you are the sole holders of this deposit. After the Brexit, the large majority of UK citizens are looking for the easiest and less tedious alternative to obtaining residence in Spain, and in that sense, the Golden Visa is becoming one of the preferred options along with the non-lucrative residence visa. And the reason for this is very simple. All the British people who moved to the Spanish territory before Brexit did it under the community regime, and that involved a really simple and quick foreign procedure. That's why there's the need now among the British community to find an alternative procedure that offers similar conditions. Having to walk the long way of regular work permit requirements, for example, it's not a viable alternative for many. That's why the residence permit for investors seems to be the best and quickest way for those British foreigners. This residence allows them to work here, it can be requested directly from Spain, and usually the main requirement it has, which is the property investment, will be met anyway, since purchasing a property is a quite common activity among British expats. Once we know the exact requirements we must fulfill in order to obtain this visa, and what documentation we are going to have to provide, we have to resolve the doubt regarding the temporary period. How long does it take to get the golden visa? Okay, so after providing all the documentation required to the competent authority, it may take around 20 days before receiving the resolution. After that, you have 1 month to apply for the golden visa at the Spanish consulate located in the investor's country. It will be at that moment that we do have to travel to Spain, because we must submit the approved application for the golden visa. The next step will be to get the TIE, the identity card for foreigners, as well as taking your footprints at any police station. We cannot delay in this process since we only have 1 month to do it. But if you don't want to spend the time it takes to carry out all these boring procedures, let us do it for you. Contact us so we get your golden visa. From the beginning to the end, you will only have to sign. And this is it for the moment. In the next video, I will talk about another type of residence permit that is very common, especially among retirees. I'm talking about the non-lucrative visa. Remember that we are local real estate experts here, and if you have questions, if you're thinking of moving to the Madrid Metro, reach us any way you want. We'd love to help you out to find your ideal place to live, and we can also help you with the acquirement of your visa. But we can only do so if you reach out to us. Give us a call, send us an email, or fill out the form in our website, livinginmadridspain.com. You have all the information in the description down below. However you do it, we got you covered when moving to the Madrid Metro. And also don't forget to check out our other videos and subscribe to our channel, and press the ring bell to receive notifications about all our upcoming content. Until the next video, catch you later!